Let's start teaching people about personal responsibility. If you are in a shit situation in your life, there's a very real chance it's because of your own lack of personal responsibility. It's your own lack of attention to detail. It's your own willingness to change a circumstance for yourself. Now, I 100% acknowledge that some people come from vulnerable scenarios, difficulties. Some people have less opportunity than others. And as a white man, it's very hard for me to talk about this sort of topic and not piss people off. But I'm sick to fucking death of us all trying to be quiet and not talk about the things that are really influencing and impacting our society. As soon as we tell people to not worry about their own personal responsibility, then we disempower them to make a change for themselves. Whether it's around your own health and fitness, your financial situation, relationships, or whatever the case may be, your own level of personal responsibility is what's going to give you the outcome. When you start blaming someone else for the scenario you're in, then you disempower yourself and you give the other people the power to influence and to dominate you. I think we need to be teaching our kids and the next generation about their own personal responsibility instead of whipping them up into a frenzy around blaming other people for what's going on. And blaming them based on emotion, not blaming them based on facts. These days in 2020, I think we are living the best version of our society that we ever had. Go back 40 years, I absolutely believe there was systemic racism and all sorts of difficulty. Does it still exist? Of course it does. But when we start talking about this for our children and start teaching them to blame other people for their circumstance, then we are settling for them to live a life and we're committing them to a life of being under the influence of other people. Let's start teaching our youth about personal responsibility. Let's start teaching them that they can do anything they want in their life. If anybody has ever come from where you are and achieved anything significant, then you can too. And if they haven't, it just means you've got to work harder. You can have anything you want in your life if you're willing to engage with personal responsibility and do what's necessary to get there. Let's stop teaching people to be victims and start teaching them to take responsibility for themselves so they can live an amazing life. That's how we're going to cure the problems in our societies.